Well, hello, and welcome to the In a Flash, The Years Go By podcast, where the Vernon, Texas High School class of 1982 alumni come home to tell the stories that shaped us long after we left the halls of VHS. I'm Ray Gerald, and every episode I have the privilege of visiting with a fellow Vernon Lion to revisit our high school days in Big V and share moments, memories, and milestones that carried us from our Vernon roots to wherever life took us next. These are the real-life journeys of classmates that walked the same halls, cheered under the same Friday night lights, roamed the Lion's Den floor, dragged Wilbarger Street, and watched the same Vernon, Texas sky light up. Our stories always begin in Vernon. Go, Lions! Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of In a Flash, The Years Go By. Today, I get the pleasure of talking with Tracye Chappell Mendez. Did I say that correctly, Tracye?
You sure did.
All right, very good. All right, well, it's good to see you. It's been a couple of
You
years,
too.
I guess, since the reunion. Yeah?
Yes.
All right. One of the questions I had because in your email, doing my research, you have a pretty, well, one, your first name is spelled uniquely.
Yes.
And you have I think I saw this in the freshman yearbook, your middle name. I knew you went by Tracy Lou sometimes, yeah?
Yes.
But what is your middle name?
It's LeVay.
LeVay. Okay, it was spelled, I didn't know, I thought it was Louvet, LeVay.
Yeah,
Is
LeVay.
that, okay, is that a family name?
It was my mother's and my grandmother's middle name.
Wow, okay. It's pretty unique. I don't know that I've ever heard of that name before.
Yeah.
Have you
Hmm.
met other LeVays?
No, I have not.
No? All right.
No.
Well, okay. Interesting. And what about the spelling of your first name? How did you come about to have that?
All I remember my mother telling me was she just wanted it to be different. So she put an E on the end of it.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. All right. Have you had any issues with the spelling of your name over the years?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, most people want
Yes.
to spell it right for you.
Exactly. They put it every place except for the end. Put
Yeah.
that E.
I get that a lot. You know, my name doesn't have a D at the end of Raymond, so
Oh, yeah.
or they want to call me Ramon, or something else, whatever. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you for saying yes to this
Sure.
interview and starting this next season. Uh, are you from Vernon, born and raised?
No, I'm not. I was born in Wichita Falls,
Okay.
but then when I was two, my dad took a church in Pueblo, Colorado. So we were there until about 74, and then that's
Okay.
when we moved to Vernon.
Okay. And what brought you to Vernon?
He
Your
took
dad?
a church there in Vernon,
Okay. All right. Which church? I should know this.
Eastside Baptist.
Okay. All right. So move there. So fourth grade, third grade?
Yes, fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
I started fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Okay. So straight to
Yes,
intermediate, I take it. Yeah.
yes,
All
yes,
right. And so what was that like coming from, did you say Pueblo, Colorado?
yes.
So Colorado to Vernon, what was that like for you as a
Well,
kid?
it was a very big change because I was used to mountains
Oh,
and cooler
yeah,
weather. And then you
yeah,
come down to Texas and there's no mountains, it's flat and hot.
yeah. Okay. And had you ever been, well, I know you were born in Texas, but you're a little kid, you moved away.
Yeah.
Did you come back to Texas to visit or anything like that as a,
We did because my parents, brothers and sisters still lived in Texas, so we would come
okay.
like for a holiday or something to visit.
Okay. All right. All right. So, and did you want to move? Having somebody who moved to Texas from another state, did you want to move here?
No, I didn't. It was
Yeah.
very heartbreaking because Pueblo was all that I knew at the time. And it was really hard because my brother and his family, there's 17 years difference between me and my brother. So
Oh.
he was already married and had two children, which are my age.
Hmm.
And so it was really hard to leave them because that's really all that I knew.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's talk about those few years in intermediate. What was that like for you? being new to the area.
Well, the school was humongous to me. It was so huge. I had never
Yeah.
seen that many kids in one spot. So that was quite an adjustment. And then having that rotating schedule that we all loved,
Mm.
that was difficult as well.
Yeah, okay. So coming, I assume you were in you would have been in grade school still in Pueblo, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so with fifth grade, sixth grade, because in California, you were grade school till sixth grade. And so when we moved here, my sister was in intermediate at fifth grade
Mhm.
or whatever. That was kind of odd for me. So would you have been in still in grade school in Colorado if you'd stayed there?
I really don't remember. Possibly maybe through fifth grade, but I'm not
Okay.
really sure.
Okay. And so I remember Kathy McClellan talking about how you came up to her and introduced yourself, and that kind of made her comfortable in intermediate. Do you remember the story the same way? You can
I
verify if.
do. I do. I was scared to death, of course, that I wasn't going to have any friends. And so my mother just kept telling me, she said, just walk up to the first person that you see and just introduce yourself. And so I got out of the car and I had PE the first period. And so my dad let me out there at the gym, walked up the steps, and there she was. And I just told her my name. Hi, my name is Tracye, and the rest is history. We've been
Yeah,
friends ever since.
yeah, lifelong friends. Okay, that's great. Good to
Yeah.
hear. And so throughout intermediate, what was that like for you?
Um, After fifth grade, it got better for me. Fifth grade was still pretty much the whole year was still a struggle. I would have little anxiety here and there,
Yeah.
but sixth grade was much better, maybe because I knew what to expect.
Mm.
And I believe that was the year that I joined band. I don't think we did in fifth grade. I think I joined in sixth grade, but I could be wrong. Kathy would know. She's got a wonderful memory. Um, but so then I really got my friend base then when I
Okay.
really got involved in band. So
Okay.
that made it much better.
All right. And what instrument did you play
I
in
played the
junior high?
clarinet
Clarinet. And all through high school as well?
all through high school.
Okay. Are there different types of clarinets or is just clarinet is clarinet? They're like bass trombone or this kind of thing.
Yes, there's
There-
different kinds. There's the regular B flat clarinet, which is what I played, and then
Okay.
Kathy played the bass clarinet, which is a little bit bigger, and
Okay.
then there's a contrabass clarinet, which is just huge, and then there's a smaller clarinet. I believe it's called the E flat.
E
But
flat. Okay.
your basic clarinet would be what I played, the B flat.
Okay. Well, thanks. So, not being a musician, these are somebody who was listening to these one time. I think I was talking with Beverly Wolf, Cheryl Connolly, and
Yeah.
he laughed at me because he was a band guy in high school, and he said, I got what you said there because she was a drum major, and something I said, is there a drum minor? Just he thought I was being funny. I thought I don't I assume if there's a drum major, there must be a drum minor. Uh, so anyway, I don't know what the different kinds of instruments are. So clarinet is a clarinet. So I didn't see. I learned something.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And so what did in junior high, where did the band play for junior high or
Oh
intermediate?
goodness.
Like what
Uh,
did you
I,
play? Was it just to learn music and band or did you have performances somewhere or who'd you
yeah,
play
we would
for?
have concerts. I can't remember. We may have had a Christmas concert and a spring concert, but then I feel like when Mr. Carpenter left, Freddie Butler came. He became our band director, I think in seventh grade, maybe. I feel like we
Okay.
had him a couple of years. And at some point, he began to teach us marching, how to march, getting us ready for high school marching band.
Oh, okay.
And so I feel like our eighth grade that we he actually took us to some kind of competition and we performed some kind of routine. And I remember we had these just like a suit coat on, and I think they were white pants.
Okay.
And I remember that day it was so cold and we were freezing to death.
Oh,
That's about
yeah.
all I remember. I can't tell you what we played, what the routine was, but I
Yeah.
remember we did that with Mr. Butler our eighth grade year.
Yeah. I'm being cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. All right. So when you moved into high school, what was that like, the transition from junior high to going into high school?
Well, it was fine actually because being in band, um, my high school career really was just centered around band. And so, because
Mhm.
that's where my friend base was, and that's where all of my activities were. So it really wasn't a bad transition at all for me.
Right. Okay. All right. Very good. And what did who were some of the I think I read in the 10-year reunion there's a booklet somebody made and you talked about Mr. Kingsley. I assume he had
Yes.
a pretty big impact on you. That's kind of the
Yes, he
impression I
did.
got.
He
Yeah, how
did.
so?
He was he took he was very partial. I don't know what it was about our class, the freshman class when we went in, but he was very partial to us. And he took all of us under his wing, so to speak, and he molded and shaped us. And by our sophomore year, he had um, shaped us into where that we became officers and leaders in the band. And most of us kind of stayed that way until we graduated.
Yeah.
And he was, like I said, he was very partial. I always felt he was very partial. Somebody may say something different, but, and so he taught us discipline and structure, and I think how to really be part of a team and to work as a team.
Mhm. Excellent. I'm always amazed when I see bands on TV or just in high school games or whatever. And the marching and how you guys do that without just everybody just coming together and slamming into one another. What was that like for you in terms of learning how to march and keeping in step with everybody else and doing what you're supposed to do without messing it up? What's
Right.
that like?
It's difficult. I mean, we started early. We started practicing probably, memory serves me correctly, maybe a couple of weeks before school started, kind of like what the drill team would do.
Yeah.
And we would have morning practices, afternoon practices, and but during the summer we would be there all day.
Mm.
And I just remember, especially our freshman year, I don't know if he had like an assistant director. Nobody comes to mind. I think it was all him.
Mm.
But I just remember him being out there in the marching practice field, and just he would have his cowboy boots on and he'd
Mm.
be smoking a cigarette, and he would tell each one of us or a section of us how many steps forward, how many steps back. I mean, he would tell each one of us, where we're supposed to go. And you just kind of almost like you become a robot. It's just kind of, you just learn it and you
Wow.
memorize it. You have to memorize your music, you have to memorize your steps, and you just go on.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's bad enough to learn the marching, then, but then to play an instrument as well,
Hmm.
and either you have to know the music because you don't have music. Some I see that on the instrument the music is there. Seems like, but sometimes you just have to know the tune. I assume.
Yes,
Yeah.
the only time he would allow us to use music would be when we would have to play for the drill team.
Okay.
We didn't have to memorize the music for the drill team, but when we were actually doing our marching show,
Yeah.
you had to have everything memorized.
Okay. And so, what was that like? Playing, at halftime, playing in the stands. Uh, what was the experience like for Friday nights or for
Oh, it
you?
was fun. It was fun. You would be, or for myself anyway, I would get nervous, before we'd be standing on the sidelines, waiting for the field to clear, and you start getting a little butterflies, because you're afraid, what if I forget my music? What if I run into somebody or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
But then once you take that first step, it's just like you just know what to do and you just do it.
yeah.
It was great.
That's
I loved it. I loved it.
yeah. And who was I assume there's every year is something different, but I assume every week you're standing next to the same people. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Each
Who's
week
who's
you
by
would
you?
learn, you wouldn't learn the show all at once. You would just maybe learn one piece of music, and then whatever routine would go with that music. And then he would just build on that so that by the time that UIL marching region contest would come around, you would know the whole show and you would perform the whole show then. So that way, by the time we got to the end of football season, we would do the whole thing.
Yeah, you had it down. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
And so I remember there's a certain time. So when is it that you guys took a break during football games? When can you I assume at some point did you go in shifts or did you I remember music being played most throughout the game. So how does that work in terms of when were you not, when you take a break?
Uh, do you mean like practice or
No,
during the game or?
during the games, at
Yes,
some point,
he would give us third quarter off.
the whole band.
The whole band, we'd have third quarter off, so you could go to the restroom, go get something at the concession stand, and then we would had to be in our seats ready to go by the time fourth quarter started. Then we would play again the whole fourth quarter.
Okay. I guess I don't remember there not being music in third quarter. I guess I don't.
Right,
If,
right. Because
okay.
we were typically all going to the restroom or getting a drink or whatever, taking a
Yeah.
break.
All right. And so what were those bus trips like for you?
Oh, they were fun. They were fun.
Yeah.
We would, of course, we didn't have any air conditioning, and so it would be hot.
Wow. Yeah.
But we wouldn't have our full marching uniform on because it was so hot. But we would have our band shirt on, and then the bibbers, the pants that we wore,
Hmm.
and we'd have all the windows down so your hair is blowing in the wind. But we would entertain ourselves on the bus, depending on how far we were going. I remember
Yeah.
being at the back of the bus, and we had Uno cards out. And we were playing Uno,
Okay. Hmm.
so it was a lot of fun. We had a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
And I was really amazed when Kathy said every time you guys came home on the bus ride, uh, that you start singing the alma mater. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Ah,
yes,
that's a because you guys got to play, you don't get to sing it, you know.
correct. Hmm.
That's amazing. I always thought that was kind of cool when she shared that. All right, very good. And so, what was UIL competition like for you all, or for you anyway?
Oh, I don't really remember Ray,
Yeah.
but I just remember, again, just being focused and just being determined and just doing, the best that you can, you know. And
Mhm.
if you make a mistake, you just keep going. Don't make it look like it was a mistake,
Yeah,
and just it was and then being in the stands waiting to hear, you know, what rating you got. Oh, that was always exciting and nerve-wracking.
yeah. And so, what is the rating system?
The,
what is it?
the rating R's, of course, if you make a one, that means superior performance. Almost not that you didn't have any mistakes, but you were very, very, very good. And then
Mhm.
a division two is called excellent. And then you could get a three, which is probably good, I think. And then they go down as far as five.
Okay, all
Get
right,
a four or a five, you're just not very good.
okay. And how did Vernon do the 4 years that you were in high school?
As far as I remember, I think we may have made a two maybe one time, but I think we got a Division One rating the whole time.
Yeah, great.
Each
All right. And what does that do uh, for the school, for the band members? Is it just a recognition? Do you get something other than hey we
Yeah, you get a trophy. You get
yeah
a
okay
trophy.
okay oh I didn't know that okay
Yeah,
very good
and if you made a one in marching contest, and then in the spring we would compete for UIL again, and it would be for concert and
oh
sight reading. And if you made a Division One in marching, and you also made a Division One in concert and sight reading, then you made sweepstakes, meaning that you won all three things, and then you got a really big trophy.
okay all right and those I assume are at the school somewhere in the trophy case somewhere
Yes, I believe that we had ours way back then in the band hall. I think we had
oh
trophy
okay
cases in the band hall.
okay all right
If
and that
not,
was
then they were in
out
the hallway somewhere because I
yeah and the
remember
band
trophy cases in the hallway.
okay and the band hall into the front of the school to the back right of the
Yeah, I believe
school
that's
where you guys
correct
were
because
okay
we would
I
walk out the door and walk straight to the stadium.
Yeah. I don't remember ever going into the band hall. I don't think there would be no reason for me to go back there, but I don't wonder what that was like. Okay. I assume it had to be pretty good size for to fit you all and
I
instruments and
believe so, yeah, best
yeah.
I can remember.
Okay.
But it was
All
very
right.
low ceiling.
Yeah. All right. And uh how did band activity how did that correlate to life using that skill later in life as an adult?
It just teaches you discipline, teaches you structure, teaches you how to work with others, how to treat others.
Hmm.
It's not always about you, it's about the team.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Mhm.
You talked about worried about don't make it look like you don't acknowledge that you made a mistake or did something. So my buddy who laughed at me about asking if there's a drum minor, he also says that when you if you did make a mistake, you don't look at the other person and you don't acknowledge that. Same thing, right? Yeah.
Correct.
If they're off on a tune or a note or whatever,
That's
you
right.
just keep going. Okay.
You just do your thing and just keep going because you're being judged. And, if the judge notices that, oh, because he may not have seen what you did or may not have
Yeah.
heard what you did. But if you
Yeah.
make some kind of a gesture or whatever, then you're going to be noticed.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Very good. All right. So who were some of your friends in high school?
Well, Kathy, Beverly Cheryl, um,
Beverly Cheryl.
I know it's like she will always be Beverly to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Sandra Stewart, Nancy Wall, Tommy Chaney, Matt Stafford, um, and Tracy Gillespie, Tammy Milner. I want to forget somebody. Laura Kieschnick. Um, I know there were others, but those are the ones that just pop into my head right off the bat.
Right. Right. Okay. And so when you guys weren't in band, what were you doing I know on Friday nights, football season, I know what you were doing, playing football, playing band. But what were your activities when you weren't in school? What did you
Well,
do?
the only thing that everybody else did, you just got with your friends and rode around or just hung out on a parking lot. That's
Yeah.
about it, really.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, pretty much same thing. Lots
Yeah,
going on in Vernon.
absolutely. But
All right.
those were good times. Those were good times.
Yeah, they were. And so what other activities were you involved in high school?
My junior and senior year, I was part of the yearbook staff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
And so I know that the juniors I had forgotten about the Roar newspaper.
right.
Were the juniors responsible for the newspaper?
Yes,
Okay.
but I
Uh,
don't remember if we ever did one. If we did, it was just one.
yeah, and I don't know if it was Kathy or Sandra. I'm not sure who shared that. Something in preparing you guys or for the next year of the yearbook that you did more
Yeah,
yearbook
yeah.
stuff,
I
helping out
think
the
that's all I remember doing. Really, is just helping the seniors with their yearbook, and then so that when it came our turn, we knew what to do.
that's why ours was so good. Not that theirs wasn't good. Ours was so good though.
I hear you.
And what was your responsibility for the yearbook staff?
I was with Kathy, and we were in charge of doing all the organizations and the clubs at the high school.
Okay, and what does that entail? What did you have to do for that?
I just remember us doing taking pictures of all the groups, and Kathy was the photographer, so she did most of the picture taking for us.
Okay,
And so we did, all of athletics, and I believe maybe we didn't do athletics. Maybe we just did the other clubs like band and choir,
okay,
whatever, some of the work clubs that we had.
okay. And did those also include any action shots, or is it just like hey, you're the group and take the photo and that's it kind of thing? Or
I think mostly we just had them just, pose as a group and just took the photo. But Kathy may have taken some action shots. I just don't remember.
okay,
And
and you
then
just
we
have to be
also helped. We had to help sell ads too. But
okay.
so those were other things, other duties as assigned that we had to do.
You just so go to businesses around Vernon and
Yeah.
try to say, hey, give us some money to support this.
Yeah, would you like to buy this size ad? And then we take the whatever picture they want us to take of it.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember, I think it was Kathy that was talking about, when you share the theme of the yearbook and this um that there was a false theme at first and just kind of trick everybody. How
Yes.
did that come about?
Well, I think the rumor started that everybody thought it was going to be something with a rainbow. And so we all thought it would be funny and cool. Let's pretend that it really is and go along with the rumor. And but I remember when we finally unveiled the true theme, I think we got a little disappointment there at the beginning. But then it was good. It was really good.
Yeah. I, I don't remember the presentation at all. Sorry, I don't remember anything about rainbows or saying it's going to be rainbows. I just remember getting a yearbook and people start signing it. So I don't remember. Are we in the cafeteria when all that's
I
done?
believe so, and I think I
Yeah.
think we were on stage, all of us. But
Okay.
I
All right.
remember something. Watch me be totally wrong and have dreamed it up, but I remember something like that.
Yeah. I think Kathy had the same recollection.
Well, if she's
So
got the recollection, then it's true.
and it's true. Okay. And what is it that how did you guys come about that theme? Was it something you already knew, like in juniors that our juniors we talked about it, we knew what it was gonna be, and that's just what it is, or was it somebody's idea that said this was should have been? We're like, yeah, we just went along with that. How did you guys come up with the theme for
I just
Interflash Years Go By?
I don't think we decided on anything our junior year. Um, I think it was probably the beginning of the school year, our senior year. And I think we just got together as a group and just threw out different kinds of ideas. And then we all we liked something with a lightning bolt. And then we just kind of came up with a catchy phrase that would go with a lightning bolt or storm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I like it anyway. I like the theme.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, it is great. All right. So what if you had to describe your high school experience, what word or phrase would you use?
Uh, I had a great high school experience. It was great. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah.
And band was my thing, and it was my high school life. And so I think if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have the friend group that I would have had. And so I don't think it would have been as good of an experience for me if all I had was just school.
Uh, and in addition to Mr. Kingsley, are there any other teachers that had an impact on you?
Mrs. Miller, she was great. I was scared of her. I remember, being in class and I would never look her in the eye because I was afraid she'd call on me and I'd have to say something. And heaven forbid, I didn't want to talk in
Don't
class.
make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
Exactly. But she was great. And I loved English. I didn't care for literature, but I loved grammar.
Mhm.
And so, and then I think it was my senior year, had to been my senior year. I was one of her aides for one of her classes. So I kind of
Oh,
got to know her a little bit that way. But I thought
yeah.
she was really cool.
Yeah. Did you see any difference in her from being a student to being an aide? Was she pretty much the same person? Did you see it,
Well,
a different side of her?
you just kind of saw the lighter side of her, you
Yeah.
know, the real Mrs. Miller, maybe you could say,
Yeah.
not as stern and, structured, but she was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I remember for the National Honor Society stuff or activities or whatever we had to do, there was a bit of a lighter side, seemed like it wasn't that, you know.
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. All right. So is there a specific memory that stands out for you in high school?
Specific memory. Mm, not really that's coming to mind.
Okay.
I just remember just all the fun times we would have in band and the pep rallies and then on the bus rides and the games were just fabulous. They were just so much fun. Those games were so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Did you have a part-time job while in high school?
No, I didn't go
No.
to work until 2 weeks out of high school when I
Okay.
graduated.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right, so let's as we move into that. Anything else you want to say about specific high school stuff?
No, I'm thankful that I was in band and all of the friends that I had. They were they were always they were so awesome and so much fun. So I'm
Okay.
thankful for each and every one of them.
Okay. All right. So before we move into life after high school, do you want to take this 2 minute challenge, this 2 minute drill questions if we answer some this or that binary questions or anything like that?
I don't know, do we? We can try, see
I
what
don't know.
happens.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Sounds like you're game for it. Okay. All right. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, like maybe about 20 questions or so.
I was gonna say you said
Binary.
two.
No, 2 minute drill, but 20 questions. Yeah, I did say a couple of questions, didn't I? A few questions. I don't know how many there are here, but there's a few. And so you just pick which one of the ones you want. Could be a if you want to pass, feel free to pass. If you want to elaborate on them, that's fine. I'm giving you 2 minutes, but sometimes we may go into overtime, but that's okay. All right, you ready?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Pre-game, halftime, or post-game?
Ooh, halftime.
Time. All right. United Supermarket, Koi Supermarket, Piggly Wiggly, or Central Market?
Coys.
Koi's. All right. Rodeo or Bonfire?
Bonfire.
Bonfire. All right. Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, or Pepsi?
Dr. Pepper.
All right. Journey or Foreigner?
Journey.
Journey. Uh, Dairy Queen or Bevo's?
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. All right. Junior prom or senior prom?
Probably senior prom.
Junior prom. All right. Band or drill team or cheerleaders?
Oh, this is a hard one. Band.
Band. All right. Osborne's, TG&Y, or Gibson's?
Gibson's.
Gibson's. All right. All right. Running or lifting weights?
Neither.
Neither. Okay. Miller's Quick Check or Allsup's?
Allsops.
Allsup's. All right. Lake Camp or Pease River?
Hmm. Peace River.
All right. Hardee's or Sonic?
Sonic.
All right. Senior play or one act play?
Ooh. Senior play.
Pep rally or bus trips?
Bus trips.
Bus trips. All right. Uh, Cafetorium lunch or the off-campus lunch?
Cafeteria.
All right. Pizza Hut or Pizza Point?
Probably Pizza Hut.
All right. Putt Putt or the skating rink?
Ooh, the skating rink.
Mm. All right. Plaza movie theater or the drive-in movie theater?
Plaza.
All right. All right. Pioneer or JVC or Craco?
Mercy.
You're
I don't
still in
know.
the car. All right.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. All right. You can go with, I think Don Holland said factory, whatever's in the
Yeah,
car.
exactly.
And would you rather have licks for getting in trouble, or would you rather have detention?
I well, I never had detention, but I did have a couple licks. So I'll just say licks because that's what I
Okay.
had.
Okay. All right. Very good. You got them all. Ding, 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 ding. For some reason, everybody gets 100% on this. I don't know.
Woo!
That's amazing how that happens. All right. What kind of car did you drive did you have a car in high school?
I did. I had a gremlin.
A Gremlin? Okay.
hmm
What color was your Gremlin?
It was gray.
Gray, a gray Gremlin. Okay. All right. And I assume you all crowded into that car occasionally and
We did.
yeah.
We did.
All right. And cruised up and down Wilbarger and cruised the Sonic or whatever. Okay. All right. So let's move into high school ends. And so let's talk us through a few years of what happened after high school for you.
Well, I went to work for Wagner State.
Hmm.
I was they had a big mainframe computer, and so they hired me to my official title was computer operator.
Yeah.
So I just kind of maintained the computer, and would back up the computer every night after everyone left. I did that for about 7 years, I think I was there,
Yeah.
Wagner State.
Wow. Okay. And that was your full-time job?
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's at the I assume there's a Wagner building, Wagner office
yeah,
there
in
in
the
Vernon.
Wagner building.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. And so what was that like for you?
It was good. The people I worked mainly with the accounting department. They were the
Okay.
ones that mainly used the computer. So they were very nice. Of course, I was the youngest one on staff, just having come out of high school. And Mr. Bill Lovelace, Mickey's dad, he was my boss, and he was so
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
And but I would work 8 hours a day, and then I think I worked 9 to 6, and then I would run home, get a quick bite to eat. Then I would go to the junior college there and take night
Okay.
classes.
Oh, so VRTC. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, and so how did you get the job with Wagner State?
I there was some kind of a Boy Scout Explorer group that one of my friends, I can't remember who, talked me into joining because we were going to learn about computers. Well, I didn't know anything about computers, didn't really have an interest, but for some
Yeah.
reason I joined. And the gentleman who was over that group worked at Wagner State. In fact, he was in charge of um, the computer department. I think they had just like got it, and so he was starting this department. And by the time I graduated, a lady that went to our church worked there with him, and he wanted someone just to kind of be there back there with the computer and manage it and take care of it. And so because he knew me from that Explorer group, he hired me and told me that I would work 8 hours a day and I could do my homework there during the day if I had some downtime, and then I
Yeah.
would go to school at night.
Okay. All right. All right. So
Yeah.
okay, great. When you went to school, and so what was that like having to go to school and working full time and
It was it was a very busy time. And it was kind of different because the nighttime class had more adult people in
Hmm.
it than me. I was like one
Yeah.
of the youngest ones there in the classes. So I didn't get to go to college like with any of my friends because they would go in the
Yeah.
day. But I had
Yeah.
this really good job, so that's why I went at night.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. And how long did you do that?
It took me 3 years to get that 2-year degree.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you. It took me a while. Uh, uh, I can remember going to I don't think we were in the same class. I took a night class of English that spring semester of 83, I guess. And that was the one class I took in college that semester. It was Miss Surfacey. Did you have Miss Surfacey at
Oh,
Vernon
I don't
Regional?
remember. I have no
Okay.
idea.
All right. Well, and you said, I felt like I was a younger guy,
Yeah,
but anyway, just taking English. All right. So you did that for 3 years and you got your associate's degree.
I
And then
did.
so you're still working at the Wagner. What changed then after that? First of all, you still living at home or did you have a place of your own?
Yeah, I was still living at home.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so what happened? What changed after you said 7 years you were at
Yeah,
Wagner?
so in 89, I moved to Abilene,
Yeah.
um, and went to work for another ranching and oil company,
Yeah.
but not as big a scale as the Wagner Estate.
Okay.
Um, and doing the same thing actually.
Hmm.
Um, they they use the exact same software and computer, and so I was hired to again manage the computer, and then but they also had me started teaching me how to do some bookkeeping,
Okay.
and
All right.
so I would do that as well. And then I eventually it evolved where that I became the administrative assistant to the owner of the
Wow.
company. and they
Okay.
would do ranching and oil and gas.
Okay. And what led you to Abilene?
Well, my husband at the time, he uh, took a job there in Abilene.
Okay.
So therefore, we moved to Abilene.
Okay.
And so therefore, I just happened to come upon this family. They were called the Alexander family that needed someone. And it was just a door that God opened because it had, like I said, had the same software that I
Yeah.
knew and had the same computer. So that was
Yeah.
definitely a door that God opened for me. And I ended up, and I stayed there for 16 years, I believe,
Wow.
till
Okay.
2005.
Wow. Okay. Long time. And so what was that like moving from Vernon, where you've been most of your life at that point, to a bigger city, Abilene? It's not real big, but it's a pretty good size city.
Yeah, it was a little difficult because I had never lived away from mom and dad like that before. Um, but it was nice because we were only 2.5 miles away.
Yeah.
So every few weeks I would go up, I'd drive up and spend like the weekend with them to visit them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Abilene was great. It was a good size. It wasn't too small. It wasn't too big.
Yeah.
And so it was a good town for me. I enjoyed living in Abilene.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And so what involved any civic things or activities in Abilene?
No, not civic stuff. I was just active in my church. I found a
Hmm.
church and so then whatever activities that Mr. Alexander had going on at the time.
Okay. Was that the name of the company, the organization, Alexander or something? Or are you
It
able to
was
say?
James Alexander and Company.
Okay. Okay. All right. And they did ranching stuff, oil stuff. Okay.
Yes,
All right. And so, all right. So 2005, you said that's when you left Abilene?
that's when I left, and I
Okay.
moved down to the Austin area.
Austin area. Okay. So worked with that company the whole time?
I did.
And then, all right. So what led you to leave Abilene and move to the Austin area?
Well, I remarried. I
Okay.
remarried, and so he lived down here. Him and his daughter lived down here. He had a 2-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And so we met and married. And so I quit the Alexanders and then came down here to Central Texas.
Okay. And what is when you say Central Texas, what part of Austin area are you living in? Or
Well,
at
right
least to there, that part, at that
right
point.
there, he lived in Kyle,
Kyle. Okay. Yeah. All right.
hmm
I've
between
been to
Austin and
Kyle.
San Marcos.
Yeah. All right.
Hmm
Took a day trip there one time. You watched the Day Tripper?
Yes.
Yeah. Kyle was on the day trip one time, so my wife and I just took a day trip to Kyle.
Oh, very good.
Yes. All right. All right. So you're in Kyle. What did you do then? Newly married and
Yeah, I was probably off work for like 6 months. I thought I could be a stay-at-home wife and mom,
Mhm.
but then an opportunity opened up at Lehman High School there in Kyle to be band secretary, a band
Oh,
secretary to the head band director there at Lehman High School.
okay.
And so I thought, hey, I know band, you
Yeah, you
know.
do.
And so it was quite different
Oh
uh,
yeah. How
from,
so?
well, because I had never worked in a school system before.
Okay.
I came from a private oil and gas company, ranching company,
Hmm.
working for a family, to now I'm working in the school system. So it was just, and having 150 kids around all the time was totally different.
Yeah. Okay. And was the band director similar to Mr. Kingsley?
Oh, no, no.
No? Different?
It's amazing how marching band, uh, I didn't realize how technical marching band had become. All of
Yeah.
the props, because we didn't have props, we just marched. But
Yeah.
all of the electronics that were involved and
Oh,
the the props and the drill was harder and the music is harder.
okay.
It's
Wow. Yeah.
quite a business.
Big difference from 82 to 2005, huh?
Absolutely. I was shocked.
Yeah. Was it a learning curve for you or just, you know?
A little bit because the bookkeeping rules are much different in government school system, than
Yeah.
just, working for a private company,
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. So that was your duties was to kind of keep the books for what?
Yeah.
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 All right.
I purchased items for the marching band, and I was also in charge of the budgets for the choir program, the mariachi program.
Mariachi program. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So and how long did you do that?
I worked for Lehman High School for about 13 years, and
Okay.
then my head director, Hay CISD is the name of the school district. They opened up a third high school down here in Buda, Mo and
Okay.
Jean Johnson High School. So my head director opened up that school, and so he took me with him.
All right.
And then I became the fine arts bookkeeper for Johnson High School and then
Okay.
two middle schools.
Okay. Wow. Oh,
And
it
it
seems like a lot.
included all of the fine arts programs: band, choir, orchestra, dance, color guard, art,
Oh,
theater, all the fine arts for three
oh.
schools.
Okay. That seems a lot heavy lifting more than when you were at Kyle. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. And you were the only one doing that?
I'm the only one doing that for my
Wow.
three schools. There's three
Okay.
fine arts secretaries. Each high school has two
Okay.
feeder schools. And
Hmm.
so each one of us had to take care of all of that for feeders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so were you living in Kyle at that time while you were in
Yes.
Buda? So just commuting to Buda. I know they're close. Just
Yes.
okay. All right.
Until about 5 years ago, we bought a home in Wimberley. So then I would commute from Wimberley to Buda.
Okay. What kind of a drive is that? Uh,
It's about 30 miles.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good ways. Wimberley's pretty. Took a day trip to Wimberley too. That was on Day
Oh, you
Tripper as
did?
well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
You may have been living there when we did that because we've lived in this area for 5 years now. 6 years, going on six, yeah, 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Okay.
moved to Wimberley in 2020.
Okay. Well, yeah, you would have been there.
Hmm.
Beautiful. We stayed at there's I don't know what the name of it, like a place you stay and they had a pool and cottages and stuff like some
Hmm.
kind of something house. Blair,
Yeah. Blair House,
Blair.
just down the road from where I live.
Yeah, that's where we stayed, right there, the Blair
Yeah.
House.
Cool.
Very nice visit. Good weekend trip. Sorry, got distracted. All right, so you worked there until I know you recently retired. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm on my third week of retirement.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. All right, and so that was you retired from the Buda School
I retired,
District
yes,
Board?
from Hayes CISD. Worked for Hayes for 20 years.
Okay, 20 years. Wow. Okay, that's a big school district. So that involves Kyle and includes Kyle
Kyle
and
and
Buda.
Buda. Yes,
Right, and it's Buda, not Buddha, right?
correct. It's Buda.
All right. And so do you get I assume like teachers or whatever, do you get that kind of retirement system or whatever
I do.
that the
I do.
TRS or whatever?
Mhm.
Okay.
TRS.
Awesome. That's great. All right. And so what are your plans and what have you been doing the last 3 weeks and what do you plan to do now that you're retired?
The last few weeks, I've just been chilling.
Yeah. All right.
Um, I don't know. I don't really have any plans right now. I just kind of want to rest the old brain and
Yeah.
the body
Yeah.
and just seeing what God has in store for me. See what if He opens up a door, if He wants me to go to work again. I'm just trying to keep my options open.
Yeah, well, that makes good sense. A lot of people would say, I was getting ready to retire. Like, well, what are you going to do? Like, do whatever I want. What do you mean? What am I going to
Exactly.
do? Like, they go, well, you're going to get bored. You're going to. I said, I don't think I'll get bored. I'll be fine. And even though I have nothing to do per se, there's no requirement, no job to be at.
Hmm.
I seem like I'm busy. And my wife, she says, she'll tell people he piddles. I piddle a lot. Do this and that, and just you know anyway, we bought an acre out here so that you'll take care of the acre. Not a lot, but it's something,
Absolutely.
something to do. All right. So, what are some of your hobbies or interests over the years?
Um, really, I enjoy music.
Hmm.
I play the piano a little bit,
Yeah.
and just my life has been revolved around school. Marching band and whatever the band is doing. Even though I took care of those other programs, that was my biggest one, and that's where my office was. So my office opened up into the band hall, so I'm surrounded with the kids all day long.
Yeah.
And so really that's just about it, just being around them. And of course I love to be with David and my daughter Morgan, and my puppy dog, of course, and whatever church activities we have.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And so how do you feel Vernon, your time in Vernon, high school and or intermediate, time working in Vernon, how did that shape you for life outside of Vernon?
I love Vernon. Vernon was a good town. Once I got my bearings, I I'm proud to be from Vernon, and I consider that my home, my
Hmm.
hometown. My
Not
mom,
Pueblo?
no,
Not Pueblo.
my
No.
uh, my mom and dad are both buried up there, and
Mm.
so that will always be home. Of course, Kathy's up there, and she's my lifelong friend, and so it holds a special place in my heart. And I think just the easy lifestyle that we had, you know,
Mhm.
relaxed and great memories. I have great memories from up there.
Mm, that's great. And so you're a preacher's kid, yeah?
I'm a preacher's kid.
All right. Now there's this moniker of being a preacher's kid that can be good and that can be not so good. So were you the I don't know if there is a typical preacher's kid, if that there is that thing. Sometimes preacher's kids are those are the worst. You don't seem like to be one of those preacher's kids to me. Or
No,
you?
I was probably on the good side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So was there a part of high school you think that had the most impact on you in your life?
Um, again, just being part of that band and part of that structure and being part of that team. We were a great team.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You talked about when you married David and you have a daughter here. Do you have kids from your previous marriage?
No, I don't.
No?
She's my only daughter.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
And what was that like having marrying someone that has a child and coming in and how what was that like?
She was 9 years old when we married. She was great. It was a learning curve for both of us, me and her,
Yeah.
because she lost her mother died of cancer when she was 2,
Oh,
and then her and David were alone for just about 5 years before we married.
okay.
And so her daddy was all that she knew, and
Yeah.
so it was a pretty good learning curve for her, because she wasn't the only woman in the house. And
Yeah.
somebody comes in, and I tried to slowly, do my thing, best that I knew how, being a mom, because I was not a mom.
Yeah.
And but it took us a couple of years to get our groove going with each other. But now she'll be 30 next month, and I've been her mom for almost 21 years.
Yeah. Does she have any children or
No, she's not
no?
married.
Okay. All right. And so when you were in high school, getting ready to graduate, finish, what were you wanting out of life? What were you thinking about what to do after high school?
Well, I never thought that I would like work with computers to start
Yeah.
off with. That was not, I figured I would be some kind of secretarial job of some sort, because I took all of the bookkeeping, typewriter classes that were offered in school.
Yeah.
Um, I was not teacher material, you know. So I figured that I would do some kind of clerical something, but I didn't really know what that looked like. Didn't really, I knew that I would go to BRJC, but Beyond that, I really just didn't know. And like I said, God opened that door to work at Wagner Estate, and that's what led me on my path.
Yeah, yeah. When you said that you weren't teaching material, what do you mean by that?
I couldn't see myself really standing up in front of a group because I was
Uh,
always quiet, um, standoffish in so many ways.
hmm
Um, like I said, in classroom, I was afraid, that the teacher was gonna, call my name. And I was gonna have to answer a question or something or talk out loud in front of somebody. I just never wanted to be in front of, a crowd. I was just scared
Yeah,
to death.
yeah, that makes sense. All right. And so, so what are some of the big risks that you took in life?
Big risks. Ooh. Um, I'm gonna say actually getting married to David and leaving a job that I loved, moving to a new area, and all of a sudden being a mom.
Yeah.
I don't know that really that was a risk, but it was a really big step. But I had no doubts or anything. I knew that that's something that God put in my heart to do. Fell in
hmm
love with David and Morgan, and so here we are, 21 years later.
Yeah. And it sounds like so being a preacher's kid, and I assume you've grown up in the faith. Sounds like your faith has continued throughout your life. Yeah, do I have that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, and
Yes.
so, where have you seen God working in your life in these different milestones from, moving to from Colorado to Vernon, moving, into high school, the, opening the door for you at the Wagner Estate. How do you see where has God been in those moments?
Well, he's been in all of them. I mean, because I was not looking for a job right out of high school. And then when we moved to Abilene, um, I took a job at first with a newspaper, just taking ads over the phone. And I actually got the call for this job with the Alexanders.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm taking the ad over the phone. And I had only been at the newspaper maybe just 2 months. I mean, I'm very, very new, still learning how to even do that. And I'm on the phone taking this ad, and my heart just starts beating really, really fast. And I'm thinking, how do I ask her? Can I apply? What
Oh
do I
yeah.
do? And of course, I don't want anybody else around me hear me on the phone, asking about this job. And so that was definitely God working in that because it was actually one of the first few days that I was on the phone because the lady typically didn't have me on the phone. She would just have me typing things. But on that day, I was on the phone.
Yeah.
And then same thing when I moved down here to the Austin area, wasn't really looking for a job. I knew I probably needed something, but really hadn't started the process of like searching. And my sister-in-law down here heard of this position opened up at the high school, and she says, "I think you would be perfect with it."
Yeah.
And so I got the interview and started working like a week later with him, and ended up 20 years later, just
Yeah.
retired with the school system. Never
Yeah.
in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would work for the school system.
Yeah. Right.
But it was
Wow.
great. It was a really good job. It was really
Yeah.
good.
And how did you meet David?
We met online.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Not farmer.com or nothing like that, yeah.
No, no. It was a Christian site
hmm
that we both had just you know became a member of, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah,
But I just did it on a whim. I don't know why. Just
yeah.
put my profile out there, but I didn't put my picture. I was scared to death somebody would find me that knew me.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
um, I got back to work because I didn't have a computer at home. So I got back to work and he answered my profile or he selected me, whatever you would
hmm
call it.
Right, right.
So we started from there and been together ever since.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard about some positive stories. I don't know, of people we met like through church and they met online. He was from like South Dakota and she was from like somewhere in the Panhandle area and they somehow meet and they're married and
Yeah.
20 some 30 years later they're still going strong, kids and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Uh, so are there relationships that have stayed with you from Vernon, or even relationships that have moved away and maybe have kind of faded away that taught you anything about relationships in life in general?
Well, of course, my relationship with Kathy is still going, and I'll be forever grateful for her friendship. We, met in fifth grade, and then stayed friends. And our parents, her dad had passed away, I think, when we were seventh or eighth grade. I can't really remember. But when her dad passed away, our moms became really close friends. My mother kind of
Yeah,
latched on to Brenda and kind of tried to help her through her grief a little bit. And then they
yeah,
became best friends
yeah.
and
Great.
remained best friends until my mother passed away. And so that's besides David, of course, in my family, outside my family, she's my strongest, closest friend.
Okay. And so what is it about that friendship? You talked about being forever grateful for her. What is it about that friendship that caused you to have this connection with her?
I think just we were both kind of quiet, I think, in some ways. Um, and then with us, we liked the same we were in band, of course, but then we liked the same kind of music. And she didn't live too far from me.
Okay.
And when she started driving, she would pick me up and we would ride to school together every day. And
Yeah.
I think she had a Bronco and I think she had
Hmm.
a pickup truck too. So we would do
Okay.
that every day together until I finally got my own car.
Yeah. Okay. The
So
gremlins, the great
we just
gremlins.
spent lots and lots of time together.
Okay. All right. Great. What is it when you think of in high school, what was your idea of success for you? I think you kind of talked about, being some sort of administrative or secretary before you had the job. What did you think your success was, and how has that changed, if at all, your definition of success looking back now?
Um, I think just success with maybe the accomplishments that we made in band, and I made pretty good grades, kept up with my schoolwork, um, kept up with my friend base. Um, so I think I consider that success
Okay.
in my high school.
All right. And now when you think about your life now, has success, that definition of success changed for you?
I think so. I think I don't count success really money wise. I think building relationships and nurturing those relationships. I know with some of the kids at school, you kind of get close to some of them. They come
Hmm.
to see you every day, and or just being showing them that you care about them and you respect them as their own individual person.
Hmm.
And having, like when I left, I had several notes from students that I was shocked that I made an impact with.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like I had a whole lot of connection with some of these kids, but
Yeah.
evidently sometimes you just have to give them a smile or just say good morning, and that
Yeah.
makes their day
Yeah.
and that makes them feel special. So to me, that is success on how you treat others, how you nurture that relationship. And I always try to be of encouragement to others as well. Use my life experiences
Right.
and to encourage others. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. It's nice to hear. Uh, And how did you handle the storms of life, difficulties, struggles that you may have had over the years? How did you handle that or those?
Just just prayer, just
Yeah.
calling out to God.
Hmm.
That's the only way I could have gotten through anything. I
Yeah.
mean, my first hardest trial, I guess you would say, or loss was the loss of my mother.
Mm.
She died when I was 32, and it was sudden, and she was my best friend. And
Yeah.
so there's no way I could have gone through that stage of grief without the Lord. No way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Hmm. Uh, so how has what has parenthood taught you about life?
Well, I see my parents in me, that's for sure, on
Yeah.
how
How
they
how
how they
so?
raised me.
Yeah.
Well, just things that I would say to Morgan. Of course, she was a good kid, so
Yeah.
didn't have any trouble out of her at all. And it's funny in a way. It's a God thing, I think. She's like her dad, but in so many ways, she is like me too.
Yeah.
She's quiet, she's shy, she doesn't want to be in front of a crowd.
Hmm.
She wants to help others, she wants to serve others. And so we're alike in so many ways like that. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. It's interesting that it sounds like you've had an impact on her as well from
Hmm.
7 years on, right? Seven when
Yeah,
you're
nine,
seven?
nine.
Nine. Okay. All right. So is there a role that Vernon played in in who you are today?
Um, I'm sure there is a role that Vernon. I mean, it's my upbringing,
Mhm.
and I think just how we um, cared for each other, and we all knew each other, and I think, and of course, being involved with a church family, you know, kind of helped nurture me in that way too, being involved in church and serving others that way.
And I assume you were heavily involved in church in high school, being that you're a preacher's kid. I mean, you were there whenever there was a service and activities
Yes,
and socials and
all
different
the
stuff.
time.
Yep. Okay. All right. Uh, what is something about your life journey that we may not see on the surface that you want people to know?
Hard questions, Ray.
That's why they pay me the big
Just
bucks.
there you go. Send me your address. Um, I think um, just being faithful through the journey. Uh, I don't consider myself um, a strong person, but I hear people tell me that I'm a strong person. Maybe because through the death of my parents and through a divorce and through a new marriage, working. Uh, I just try to keep God at the center of all of it. I can't, without Him, I'm nothing. I'm
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And so He's my strength through whatever I'm going through.
Wow. That answered the question that came to my mind is, what is a strong person? I said, well, that's whatever that in our weakness, God is strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh, hmm. All right.
He's the air that we breathe.
Yeah, great answer. All right. And so, what do you want? Maybe you kind of said this already. What do you want to others, what do you want other people to get out of your story, your life story?
Jesus.
Jesus. How so?
I just want others to come to Christ.
Hmm.
I want them to come to heaven with me.
Yeah, it's great. Good. All right. Um, how I have to think about that for a second. All right. Uh, all right. So you want to write a letter to your high school self. What would you tell Tracy? Tracy LeVay.
Tracy LeVay, I think I would tell her, don't don't be afraid. Don't fear. Um, Don't worry about what others think. Be your true self. Be what God wants you to be.
Word. Great words of wisdom. All right. All right. So are there any either questions you have of me or things that's pressing on your heart that you want to share? Let people know that I haven't asked something I haven't asked.
Not that I can think of. I think this is great that you're doing this for all of us, and but I think you need to turn the tables around and someone needs to interview you
Why do you say that? Everybody keeps saying that.
because it's only fair. It's only right.
It is fair. It is right. Yes. I'm afraid, I can talk a lot and I don't even know that I need somebody to interview me. I'll just share just share stuff. This is the all about me type stuff. It would be easy for me to do, but I have something in the works for that, and
Awesome.
so I do have I've promised someone to ask me these same questions or follow up on whatever. Uh, I just feel like I feel like I have a lot to say, but I don't want to bore people, and I don't want to,
I
anyway.
say what you want to say. You won't bore us.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really appreciate the time that you took to answer all these questions and to be transparent. And I love that your faith has been with you throughout your life and how it's worked in your life, how God has opened doors for you, and that you're happy and living in, uh, let's see, where do you live again? New
Wimberley.
Braunfels, Wimberley. I was going to say New Braunfels, Wimberley. Oh yeah, how could I forget Wimberley? And so I just want to say thank you and I appreciate. Thanks for your friendship. And so I know we weren't close. I mean, we knew of each other. We weren't close in high school, but we see each other every now and then at the reunions. And so I
Yeah.
really just my curiosity gets piqued with everybody that I've interviewed. It's like I wonder what they've been doing all these years, and
hmm
what life has been like for them. So it's uplifting to hear how God, there's a thread of God in everybody's life. Whether
Absolutely.
they see it in that time or not, it's in all our lives. So I
Yes.
appreciate the spirit, how it moves and uh, kind of orchestrates some things. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for your sharing and thanks everybody for listening to this episode of In a Flash, The Years Go By with Tracye LeVay Chappell Mendez. All right. And we hope you all keep watching, everybody. Hey, thanks, Tracy. We'll see you later, okay?
Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of In a Flash, The Years Go By podcast. If today's conversation reminded you of home, of lion pride, or of a chapter in your own life's journey, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe, share the episode with another lion, and keep spreading that Vernon Lion spirit wherever you are. And if you'd like to be a guest or nominate someone with a story worth telling, reach out. We all would love to hear from you. And until next time, remember, Lions, Lions, we back you, says the class of '82.